I hope he's producing somewhere. Like, you know, like this was he made this song, but he's like, no, I'm really like,
I'll
I'm
share
gonna
it.
write music. I'm gonna produce.
I hope he's still producing.
Like, I'd like to know that he produced something that I find amazing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's his name again? He did that.
I just hope he's happy, whatever he's doing.
I hope you're happy.
I hope you're happy.
Did anybody see the Blues Clues guy, Steve, when he posted broke the internet?
Oh yeah.
And he's basically like, hey y'all, I haven't seen y'all in a while. But I'm so proud of you. Like, it's so crazy. And you guys are still here. I'm proud. You know, it's pretty dope. Makes us feel good.
Oh, I like that. Kind of like an earthquake. That room.
Yeah.
The rock shook.
It's definitely what I expect when I enter every single room from now on. That's the level.
That level of commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, though?
Yeah.
We all back. Everybody's healthy. Got a special guest on. For everybody tuning in, it's the Can't Tell Us Nothing show.
Woo.
We got Antoine. We got Amici. We got Tandy.
Ooh. Yeah.
And that other face you see with us today is our special friend who used to be in Houston, Texas, is now doing it up in Chicago, making everybody laugh, I'm sure, because she's mighty talented. Matter of fact, I remember doing a sketch with her years ago where she did the voiceover music, and we'll talk about that because I can't remember specifically the sketch. It was like a dragon or something, and you were... No, it was a troll sketch, and you were singing like the hook of the troll or something like that.
I do not remember this at all.
Don't worry.
So I am so excited for you to tell me about this.
Everybody, let's welcome Hoja Lopez to the show.
Hello.
Hit
Thank
them
you so
horns.
much for having me. I'll do it for myself. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. I miss Houston. I feel like I'm like everywhere that I go. I just went to Los Angeles like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, ooh, I don't know. Have y'all been to Houston yet? Every person I spoke to. Yeah, I love it because I feel like there's like a really, when there's like established improv scenes somewhere, I feel like people do it for all sorts of different reasons, you know, like they do it because they want to get famous, or they do it because they want to get the job, and in Houston, because it's such a small market, I feel like people, the only reason to do it is because you really love it. There's really nothing else. And that to me is just like it's kind of like you don't know you're in an era until it's over, you know?
No,
and that's what
I agree with that. Yeah. I think it takes a special someone to go through all the levels of improv without like the idea of grandeur of fame and fortune of being spotted. You just want to keep performing.
Yeah.
I think it's a special thing as well.
Yeah. And you're really hard on yourself too. And even though no one's watching, right? It's like nights you're like, oh, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
And come right back.
I have my friend Kristen, who's a great improviser here too, put it in perspective because she was in a shuffleboard competition recently. It's like where you just kind of throw the little, you know, the little pucks or whatever. And it's got the same kind of vibe as like those bocce balls. Like those are kind of the rules. And she said that there was this one moment where all the pressure was on her. It was like the final point. And she said that she had never felt so much pressure in her entire life. And she missed it, failed. They lost the shuffleboard game. And that she cried afterwards. And this is somebody who also does improv. And as somebody from the outside looking at her do shuffleboard, I'm like, bitch, that don't even fucking matter. What? Shuffleboard? You lost a game of shuffleboard? And Kristen is like, improv is the same. Listen to me. Anybody outside of improv is like, you upset because you're doing improv and it didn't go well? And it's like the stakes of it always seem and feel so big when you care about something. So but like as soon as she put it in the perspective of this shuffleboard game that she was in, I'm like, oh my God, as soon as I transpose this onto improv, it's so much easier to be like, bitch, this just doesn't actually matter. It's just a little, tide of ocean that is now retreating back again, and you can just wait for the new wave to come on for a new opportunity. But
is it more important to you for improv to be a tide in the ocean, or for it to matter and be important that night at that moment?
Yeah, well, I've learned something is that in improv, I can't always talk about things that matter to me. I think it's not always the right space for that, because I want to have wonderful, nuanced, well thought out conversations about things that I care about. And so sometimes sketch is better for that, or something where I can really like think about how I want to present this thing that I feel very like passionately about. And in improv, I don't get that opportunity. I think to me, it's more just like having fun. And if I get to a natural, organic scene that has like something interesting to say because of who I'm playing with, or like these characters are interesting because we found some human element, that is really fun to me. But like the mission of saying something in an improv scene, I think really I think it could just be done by who you are as a person and your identity, what you're playing with. But yeah, it's definitely, for me, I think more important the tide and the in and out. But in comedy in general, I would say the impact or the more long term is more important. But what about you guys? Like, how do you approach your scenes? Does it feel like, oh, I'm saying something? Because I totally opened a different perspective.
Yeah, I'll go first. Yeah, so I actually don't think coming to improv with an agenda works for me as much. I've seen groups try to do it. It feels kind of clunky, kind of like they're trying to push a message. It doesn't seem like they're really into the scene or what's the reality of what's going on. It's more like this other layer that they're trying to keep in the forefront. I'd rather it be a little bit more organic. Maybe you have an idea for the initiation of the scene, and then you find the realness within it. And that's something that we as a group seem to gravitate towards, in my opinion, that we always try to find something real in these abstract, crazy worlds we end up in. And that's what I think is great, because you actually discover these relationships and dynamics being explored in ways that I hadn't seen before. And I find that very interesting. So that's my opinion.
For me, I feel the same way. I don't have an agenda. I try to get rid of any kind of expectation. I try to just have fun, like find a way to connect with, my scene partners on stage, and then also find a way to connect with the audience. That's like what's more important. Am I playing something, like you said, as a human connection so that the audience gets it, right? Like, but if I go in there heavy loaded with something or something to say, like you said, it's probably better for me to write it out, because trying to work something out on stage in front of people live, you're taking a wild chance.
Oh yeah.
Wild chance. And now there's times when we do play satirical, but it's an organic opportunity that's like, it's right here. We can all just touch it and let's just go with it. But not trying to start from a extremely, political or religious point of view. I think it's when it becomes preachy, I'm out, right? I don't want to take that kind of stance in a comedy show, if that makes sense.
Yeah. For me, if I can't do like heavy stuff without wanting to just turn it into like a poop cup or something. I like to.
Yeah.
If it's like not normal, if it's not like it doesn't organically come up, or we're not doing like a something where it's like an analogous thing that people can clearly see is related to the issue we're talking about. It's hard to just sort of stand there and just kind of preach to people who didn't come to see us preach.
How you know? Like,
that's a good point.
Heard that girl Tandy got We're going down to the improv show.
That sounds culty. That turns into a
Can't tell us nothing stands for cult. It's just it's well, you know, not quite, but we can figure it out.
It's spelled like it.
Close.
It's not spelled like it, but
it's close enough. Yeah.
Came down to hear us preach, man. But that would, if improv were church, right? If it were a religion, I would be the biggest zealot. Right, I would just we'd be proselytizing. We're going in the nations where there is no improv
to bring it to the people.
I would be 100%. I'd help, you know, whatever books we making up. Whatever books we're finding that have been inspired by the greats that we're now passing around and telling everybody to read. I'd be all over that, man.
Yeah, I mean, there is something about Tandy the Baptist. There is something about like believing that you like have something special and that everybody could and should be a part of it. That I definitely feel the same way. Okay, you're bringing me in, you're reeling me in, baby. Where's your pamphlet? Do you guys have couples therapy?
Yeah, it's you do a scene, you form a duo.
Just act like yourself. Go on stage. Oh my God, that's wild. You know, it's really interesting. So when I first moved to the United States, I'm from Venezuela originally. I didn't find comedy, and I didn't do any comedy until much, much later. So I kind of like went through all these different paths before I sort of was like, oh, maybe this is something interesting that I would like to do. But I remember missionaries in Venezuela because they're all over the place and they're big in Latin America too. And I think I would have gotten inducted. They would have got me if it was improv for sure. But instead, they're like, hey, listen, you're from a third world country. Things are fucked up here and we know how to do it better. So we're just going to swoop in and really...
See, they were too preachy.
Too preachy. That's it.
No one likes too preachy.
Yeah.
Especially from missionaries.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Geez, yeah, that's like a hat on a hat, right? It's like, you don't need to be extra. I get it, right? But no, I the preachiness, it just flops, man. It flops for me. It flops.
Yeah. Okay, so if you had to be preachy about anything, like what is something that you would be like, I have to stand from the rooftops and like tell everybody about this one thing, aside from improv anyways? Like maybe it's like a lesson you've learned or something stupid like that.
I like that you're the interviewer here.
Don't smack.
Yeah. I'm just so curious. I'm just so curious about you guys. If it's just me asking questions this whole time, I'd be happy with that.
That's cool.
If you smack when you're chewing your food and you're eating around new guests or friends, you should ask them if they're okay with that.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I hate that. And I'm not the only person in the world. I'm sure there's millions, at least 1/6 of the population has to be people.
I think there's a name for that actually. And
There
Sarah
is.
Silverman also has the same, I think it's called something phobia, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like misophonia. No, it's called what is it, Tandy?
I forgot. Yeah, you almost had it.
It's
mesothelioma.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I looked it up and I tried to write like a short film about it too, but no, I haven't. Like it's like, and I think it's like trauma. Like I remember being a child, and if you were eating bowls of cereal and your spoon hit the bowl too much, that noise would like drive my mother crazy, and then she would just freak out. So like now it's like almost like embedded in me. Any noise, it just triggers me. So even if people are eating bowls of cereal and I'm hearing the spoon in the bowl, I would just get up and leave and go eat in the bathroom or something. or I'll eat really fast, get up and just leave because I'll end up getting angry like Mr. Hyde, right? Just slap the table.
You go like emotional from like 0 to 100.
And that's not much things at all that I can say that takes me like that, where I'm like fighting myself. But the noise of people, like unnecessary noise, I guess it's called, like, unnecessary. It freaks me out. I hate it.
I love the idea that somebody's on the other side of like, I need this. And they're just like making a very, that's so funny. Yeah. Okay. So that's what you would impart to the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it.
Don't smack your gum or whatever. Quiet eaters cult.
Quiet eaters cult.
I'll say mine has there's 2 layers to it.
Shit. Okay.
I would say the surface layer is there's an anime out there for you. You may not think you like anime, but I bet there's one for you. I bet there's one that you'll enjoy. You don't have to.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, you don't have to pledge your life to it. You just enjoy it. Like, this one isn't so bad.
Antoine sounds like the Mormons of anime.
The lower layer of it is know why you like what you like. A lot of people don't. Ooh. A lot of people just like a thing and think that's just the end of it. Oh, I just like it. There's a reason you like it. It kind of ties into the fetish origins, right? That came from somewhere.
Okay.
And I think if you find out why you like what you like, you can find more of that or learn more about yourself.
All right, Tim Robbins.
I wrote it down. I believe this.
Makes sense. That's what it is. Yeah. Antoine, the self-help guru.
I'm still thinking.
Yeah, first we'll help you, then we'll find you an anime.
One thing for me is I try to advise is like be careful of taking sides and when your friends have arguments or little petty fights, because when they make up and then they're both mad at you because you picked a side.
Yep.
I didn't do nothing.
Yep.
But yeah, that's something I try to just sort of stay neutral and
sounds like therapy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna piggyback on that one with a little one.
I want to hear the story of how you learned that lesson the hard way.
Actually, yeah. Is there a story, Amici?
No, nothing I'd like to get into right now.
Okay. I want names, last names. I want full identification.
But my little piggyback is I don't add the people my friends are dating on Facebook or Instagram. I just don't do it. Not until you guys seal the deal. Am I gonna get into that?
Until they fuck?
Oh, I was thinking marriage, or like live together for a good while, but
consummating the.
You gotta tell me when you consummate, and then I'll
let me know.
Yeah, I need hard proof.
That's the update. Lance and Jessica consummate. Wow.
All right, there you go. There it is on the list.
Oh man. I've gotten so old and crotchety. There's so much stuff that I can just like. Rah!
I got so much. Okay.
And then I'm like, you're overreacting. Calm down. So you don't have to. Yeah, because that's a choice to be angry about a bunch of stuff for the most part.
The religion of calm down, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. I'm like, why are you getting that upset?
Everybody needs to calm.
Yeah, that's me. I don't think it's the real.
We cut to a Sunday service with Tandy's giving a sermon out of one of her wildly famous sermons on calming the hell down.
Now listen, you wake up, things are going great. Somebody does something and you start getting that little feeling inside like you just want to burst open or just claw their eyes out or stab them or something. Take a moment. Calm down. It's not about them. It's all in you. I'd like for you to turn your books to the book of But I'm sorry. I'm distracted today. John,
Yes.
John, I see
Yes.
you out in the audience. I see
Mhm.
you out in the audience. And I'm not sure, but I think you are writing notes. I see you doodling there in your pad, and you're drawing knives and you're drawing guns.
Yeah.
About, I'm not sure who, but are you upset? Are you angry? Are you not getting my message to calm down?
Well, they're having a sale at the hunting store down the street, and I chose to come hear your sermon.
Okay.
Instead of taking advantage of that sale.
Okay.
So I just got a little fidgety and start doodling the types of knives and guns I might buy when I leave here.
Now, see, everybody, I should take that lesson for myself. I was about to get angry at John. Okay, I thought he wasn't listening to my message. I thought that he was being angry, and then I myself was getting angry, and that just threw me off my path. But again,
I'm sorry. I have a comment to make.
Oh yes.
So I stubbed my toe getting out of bed this morning. Made me really angry. I came here looking for some peace, and I think I was getting that. Until you told us to turn to the book off, and then you stopped, and I wasn't sure what to turn, and then I started feeling like some frustration, and I can feel the anger building in me now. It's been like a couple minutes. You still haven't told me what book to turn to, and I started throwing guns and knives. So.
I like to speak up. As he was telling his story, I started getting angry about this guy talking about his toe for what seemed like 20 hours.
And I don't like it when other people interrupt other people. So I'm feeling really flared right now as well.
I thank you for the support. I thank you for the support, but also don't appreciate the interruption for both of you.
Okay, sorry. I realize I'm doing the same thing.
I'm trying to interrupt, but I can't get to the gun store sale, and we keep interrupting each other, and I'm starting to get hot and angry.
Can we get back to the sermon? Can we get back to the sermon and quit all these interruptions?
I feel like I'm losing y'all. I feel like I'm losing y'all. You're right. Let me get back on track. I see the seed of discord is starting to run through. Is starting to run through the area. I want everybody to take a spiritual cleansing breath. Go dig deep and take that spiritual cleansing breath.
Okay, look, I would love to do that, but which book do we turn to? I need to know. I'm losing my mind here. If I don't find out which book,
forget the book before I step on your other toe.
Yeah,
man, some of these people's breaths stinking here with all these spiritual breaths.
You gotta intake calm, and then when you expel your fiery rage out through your mouth from your breath that comes out. And you gotta do that over and over again until your full body is anew, basically. That's what I'm doing anyways, because I read the book.
Tandy, is that from the book?
It is not from the book that we're reading today.
Oh, that's my own collection.
If you would take Sister Hoja, if you don't mind taking out your book, y'all turn to the book of
come on!
And scene.
That's exactly how it would go. The church will calm down. Of course.
And stop overreacting.
Yeah, stop overreacting.